There we go.
Cool. I felt a bit of a disturbance in my spirit this past week, and I don't understand. I don't know why it is, but it happened. And of course, for me, starting this new job and everything and stuff like that, like when I tell you I have been so completely occupied, like encompassed in this position and making sure that I, fully understand everything I'm supposed to be doing and stuff like that. However, the company is a really, really, really bad company in terms on like how they train people, what they're trying to do and stuff like that. So now I have been hit with a bit of opposition from the company. It seems like it was just like hit after hit after hit after hit, to where, I've been in this position now for about 3 weeks and I've already got a write-up for failure to perform. But the failure to perform was in relation to them saying that like I was on my cell phone and, I was just against submitting certain information and stuff like that. And true enough, I was on my cell phone. I'm not going to say that I wasn't. However, my cell phone is utilized in this position for me to be able to take pictures, communicate with the staff. We have group text. We're all on social media. Y'all all can attest that I'm not really active on social media like that in terms of like posting and being like, even in the group chat, like I may look, but it's not like I'm constantly conversing and stuff like that. So I don't know why it is, but I've always found myself in these positions of when there's some type of, I guess I'm just too effective and too efficient with doing my job. And because it's like I've been uncovering a lot of shit that they haven't been doing correctly on their end. And now I'm the person to where it's like, I feel like I'm moving too fast. So I just need to take a step back in my role and just like allow everybody else to catch up with me, because I'm trying to get this done so that way I can go ahead and focus on other things that bring me joy. Not that the job doesn't bring me joy, but the stress that I'm receiving from other people being incompetent doesn't bring me joy. And I feel like I've been attacked in my professional life, because when I accepted this position, I accepted it with the expectation of this being a career opportunity for me, not just another job. And what I'm receiving, it doesn't really make any sense. And I'm trying to I see people for how they are, for who they are, for what they do. Silence speaks volumes. And a lot of times in the position that I'm in now, I'm just noticing that you want to go into things bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and you want to believe that people have your best interest at heart. And even in 2022, like for me to get the write-up that I got, which had nothing to do with my performance, it had everything in the notes had to do with hearsay, and it was in relation to my phone. But we're in 2022. Who doesn't have a phone? There's not one person that works for any corporation that does not at some point in time take a personal call, a personal text, a personal something, just because we're all interconnected with our cell phones. So I took the step to say, okay, well, I'm just going to keep my phone in the car so that way we don't have this problem. But now in terms of me communicating and doing my job, I need to make sure that I have the proper tools and resources. So I need a digital camera, so that way I can walk around this property and take these pictures. Y'all need to communicate through email, and I'll communicate with everyone through email. So that way you can't say that I'm on my phone doing personal time. But it's so strange to me how, and if you were on the call at the time that I got this position, it was like, oh, it just happened. And everything was like, and and it was presented this way to where we'll help. And not saying that anything that I can't do it, but it's just like, I need proper structure in order to be able to do things. And there is no proper structure. And when you go on the company's website itself, the reviews that it have on there from previous employees is that there was no training that was provided. True enough, it's a new company, whatever, but how, I just don't understand how I got rolled up 3 weeks into an assignment that I still have a training scheduled for Friday within the company.
Let me answer that question for you, because you were unaware of that being a part of their culture with the cell phone. That's how. It was one of those unwritten kind of everybody knows, but you don't know because you are new. And then you didn't have the proper training where they told you do not have your cell phone. So now it looks like why he always on his phone. And remember, you're new to the environment.
Not only am I new to the environment, but my immediate manager, her and I both started on the same day.
Right.
So that makes me feel even more like I really feel attacked. Like,
but
because
I want you to take a different approach and watch your words right there. Take a different approach to this. And you're just coming in. So you want to be the person who is team player, here to help. How do I best assist? Learn how to play this game. Don't set it up where it's adversarial from the very beginning. Set it up where I was unaware of these expectations. Can you guys clearly tell me so I know what the rules are that I might follow them? I did not mean it, but I didn't know. No one told me. Go that route.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Go, I'm here to listen and learn. Mouth closed, pen and pad out. I'm new here. How do y'all do things? And you acclimate yourself to how they do it. Right. Even if you can do it better, even if you know of systems and procedures to get it done quicker, faster, more efficient, you're too new.
New
learn their way first, do it their way, make friends with decision makers, then make changes, then offer opinions. Until then, it's what would you like me to do? And I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do it in excellence.
And then what will happen is as that relationship matures, they'll ask you, you think we could do this a more efficient way? And they'll be coming to you because to do what you're doing right now, you're just going to attract more of the same. I think is what Kenya's saying too.
Yeah.
Is that that energy is just going to continue to attract that adversarial type energy. You definitely don't want to have to get them to go to work to that every day.
And once again, you're the new guy.
Yeah. So
your posture needs to be, I know nothing, even though you know everything, right? Just because you're new to that environment. I know nothing. I'm here to learn from you. I'm listening.
These people were like, I can't wear my earring. I can't wear gloves on my hands when it's cold in the office. I can't wear my Scully cap when it's cold in the office and I have a bald head. Like, I'm like, what, is my blackness offending y'all? Like,
it's not your blackness. You just new to their environment. And so you're going to have to learn. I'm in a new environment. Let me change. That's just how the game is played. Let me tell you what my mentor told me. Your pay grade is not high enough to have an opinion. You hear me? Kenya, we don't care if you have a idea that's saving us millions. Nobody wants to hear that from you. Your pay grade is not high enough to have an opinion. You hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. Trust me. I hear you.
I was fortunate enough. My mentor is also my cousin who was working in human resources. So I had an inside scoop to how things are done corporately with that company from a human resource perspective. No, nobody want to hear your opinion. Be quiet. Why? Your pay grade is not high enough to have an opinion.
These people just really bother me because like in my first 3 weeks, I have gotten, when I started, delinquency was at 280,000. As of right now, my delinquency is at 197,000 in 3 weeks.
Tiandra, I need you to hear me. And that's wonderful. Congratulations. You need to accept your own competence and let that be what it be.
You're right.
But you show yourself to be, I'm an ally and I'm here to learn your system. What I know, I'm telling you, because you're gifted, when it's time, they're definitely going to call on you. But being new and I've been here 3 weeks, and in this amount of time, I've been able to humble my brother. They don't want you in your Scully, take it off. You need to white boy that up, because I was going to say something about how you look today. You look fly and fabulous. Apparently, that don't work in that environment.
I don't like it.
They don't want fly and fabulous.
Mind you, we had the conversation about budget. I was like, what's the budget? If y'all don't like what I have on, then order me some shirts. What's the budget?
Once again, your attitude is all wrong.
No, I'm
Yes,
we
yes.
talking. We
No,
talking.
but we are talking, and I'm telling you, your attitude is all wrong. If you got to go to Walmart and get the $5 polo shirt,
No.
take your hat off, rings off, white boy that thing up.
Oh, no, not please.
But it's Chanel.
Yes.
No, nobody cares.
Yeah. Tiandre, can I please say something?
Yes,
Please.
of course.
I totally agree with her, and it's, please don't be offended by what I say, because I have a young 21
Lucretia, something going on with your phone. You going in and out.
You're breaking up. You sound
You're
like
breaking up really bad.
you sound like you're in the Matrix.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Keep talking. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better. It sounds like you were in the Matrix though.
Okay, hold on. Okay, cool, cars getting it repaired. So,
It's starting again.
I just wanted to say that the younger generation, I don't know how old you are. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'll have to call you, Tiandre, because my whole thing is, you all are, the younger generation are so they're highly offended. They're highly offended and very opinionated. And me coming from a government background for all my life since high school, there are just certain standards that you have to follow that are corporate and business, like that dress. Like can you say your grade is not high enough. You are hired to do a job, and there are rules and regulations that you accepted when you accepted that job. And so learning the rules and regulations and learning how to adhere to those rules and regulations is what you need to be doing until you elevate to a position where you are at the table and can make decisions and make changes. And I'm saying that as now being a supervisor in a federal agency, but even as a supervisor, I have someone over me, right? I have a little more say so over those below me, and I'm not one that micromanages, but when there's regulations and rules, I still have to enforce those whether I believe in them or not, because that's the culture, right? And if you want that job, you have to adhere to the culture, or otherwise you need to find somewhere else to work that fits you, right? Whether it's fashion or whatever the case may be, but you cannot come in and change and have an attitude and a disposition of, well, this is just me and you're gonna have to accept it. No. You have that attitude and disposition in your own business, and you set your culture and establish what you want when you create your own. But when you're working for someone else, you got to kind of adjust to that culture, find out what they need, and then find a way to elevate in the system to be able to sit at the table and make decisions and make changes. And that's all I have to.
And I was going to add too that don't think that somebody's not watching the money you bringing in. Oh, they watching. You may not say anything, but they're watching. And that will probably be your ticket to the table, because they're going to want to know what you're doing, how you're doing it. Then they'll start asking you questions. And even in that, you're going to have to have some level of humility, and I wouldn't say you don't have to dumb yourself down, but it's something about when we get in these corporate environments and when we show up with what's normal brilliance to us. We just the way we think, right? But you go in there and you got these other people been there 5 or 10 years. All of a sudden you got this young cat coming in and he done brought in so much money and blah, 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 making them look bad. At least that's in their mind, making them look bad, instead of them saying, hey, show us what you're doing. We'd love to be able to help you all get started. And maybe they're not there yet because you're so new. So right now I just let my work talk for me and abide by the rules.
And not only
dress
that,
the way they want me to dress, and let my work.
You got to make allies. You got to make friends. In corporate America, it's your connections, not your knowledge, that gets things done and opens doors for you. So like I said, lips closed, pen and paper out. What can I do? What do you want me to do? And how do you want me to do it? That gotta be your posture. And do it gladly with joy. I'm here to show you, to prove to you that I am an asset to this company, period. So like I said, if you got to white boy it up for a minute, do what you got to do. You can be flying home, but make your money and let this position do what it can do for you while you're in this set time. Like I said, especially if you're looking at this as a career move and not just a job, play the game.
Right.
Play the game. I'm telling you what I had to learn from experience. Honey, when I was younger, I got fired for so many jobs. You hear me? Fired. With my degree having, technical skill having, fired. You hear me? I'm good at what I do. Oh, but that attitude? Oh, you think you starting at the top? No, you're not, ma'am. And thank God my cousin was in that position, because I got the heads up when they was going to Hughes. I don't think she gonna make it. Let me tell you a almost fatal mistake I made. We were in training and I have a degree, right? And the supervisor did not realize that the answers to the test were in the back of the book. So I wasn't studying on the computer. I was studying on the back of the book, right? And I just so happened to bring that out. He was like, how are you studying not being on the computer? I said, don't you realize the answers to the test are in the back of the book? I said, wait a minute, you haven't read the book?
Kenya.
You're questioning me and you have not read, because you're questioning me. You're questioning me about my study skills and you haven't even read the book?
Wow.
Now, to me, it seemed logical because you came to me asking me about how I do what I do. And it dawned on me, how are you talking? In my mind, hear what I'm saying. In my mind, you are beneath me already. That's my air, right? And you haven't even read the book. How dare you talk to me? And even though I didn't say that, you better believe it was my air. You better believe
those were the exact words that were said to me yesterday. It has come to us that certain things come off as if they're beneath you.
That air alone will get you fired.
But it's not that it's beneath me. It's
you hear me?
Listen, I am receiving. I had this whole conversation with myself.
Because you're gonna be on here next week talking about y'all know what.
We got you.
Y'all know what happened. Let me tell y'all what had happened. Perceived, real or not. And my cousin told me this. Why you gotta humiliate people?
It's common. Sometimes it's just, listen, that was the exact same situation. Your situation was my situation yesterday. If I send you a report and I tell you what I have done, don't come at me and ask me, did I do something when I told you that I did it?
You're gonna be fired in a week if you don't make a radical shift in your energy, air, attitude, and appearance.
All of that.
Energy, air, attitude.
Not energy, air, attitude, and appearance.
And come back tomorrow a totally different person.
I did. I came back to that. Now yesterday I knew it was coming.
No. You're not listening. No, you're not. Because you still too fly for me. I need you to go home and come back totally different.
Hold on, wait. There is nothing wrong.
All right, do it your way. I'm telling you what I know. Do it your way. Go ahead, baby.
Take that hat off.
Do it your way. Trying to tell you.
No, but listen. Listen, the issues that this is another gotcha. The issues that came in reference to my appearance came from another male in the LGBT community. It didn't come from my direct supervisor. This that I have on today, when I walked in, like, hey, it's cold in here. I have my Scully on. I'm not gonna get rolled up for this, am I? She was like, no, it's fine. I'm cool with it. Okay, I'm wearing my earring because it's part of my spirituality and my religious beliefs. Is this okay? I'm not trying to be rolled up. No, you're fine.
Take all that shit off. Don't come in there tomorrow with that on. All right. All of it.
Trying to help you. We just trying to help.
All of it. Get
Listen,
you a white boy polo shirt and some khakis. Take all that shit off.
I gotta stay protected. I gotta protect.
said, well,
I
your
gotta guard
spirit
my
earrings
gates.
are-
Protected
I gotta
and
guard my
employed.
gates. I gotta guard my gates.
All right.
Lucretia say,
That's
where your
funny.
spiritual earrings at?
I am not with y'all today. I am not.
We
help you
trying to
keep your-
tell you.
Hey,
We trying
Kenya,
to tell you how
Trying
this
to help
game
him, help him
works.
keep that job. We try to help.
Seriously.
No, I
I hope you play the rebate because I gave you 4. That was fresh from the spirit.
Yeah.
Added, listen. I hope go back because that's
I-
you.
Yeah.
Or else you gonna be on the line talking about what had happened was that job just wasn't right for me. It just was not a good fit. And don't prematurely block your blessings. Real talk, all seriousness here. Don't let your fabulousness, and you are, and there's nothing wrong with it. But when you're new to a corporate environment, you have to acclimate to that environment, not the other way around. That's
Right.
just the way it is.
And Kenya, you said something earlier, and I've had this happen before. Until you can change it,
yeah,
until you're in the position to change it, you have to acclimate to what it is. And then you find yourself, what you decide to stay a year or two, all of a sudden you'll be leave.
yeah.
Like, oh, we're having casual Friday.
I
Yeah,
have
but
been
you know
here
what you
at
want.
my job 7 years now.
Mhm.
7. I wouldn't have made it the first year. They ask questions now. I still keep my damn mouth shut. I don't have nothing to say. Nothing.
I had to have that conversation with Spirit yesterday while I was in that office with them people, because she looked at me and she said, "You look like you have something you want to say." I said, I'm listening. So I have it.
Tell your face though. But see, just how you told us, your face didn't say that.
Cause I hit their ass with a
Okay, and they gonna hit your ass with some papers. I don't think this is a good fit. Okay, I'm gonna say it for you again because I still don't think you done quite heard me. Take all that shit off.
Listen,
White boy polo shirt and some khakis. Lips closed, pen and paper out. I'm here to learn. What can I do and how do you want me to do it? With that charm and smiling personality you got, win them over.
Mhm.
Or else, I'm giving you fair warning. Or else they're gonna find a way to get rid of you because you don't fit into their environment, which is really unfortunate because you were so excited about this position.
Mhm.
And I believe you could make great change, but once your opportunity comes, you just gotta wait for it.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen,
'Cause
I
I
went and
honestly, and I
went
go
bought
back
me a
to this again,
Moldavite.
I honestly
went-
believe that what you are accomplishing is gonna speak volumes. You're not gonna have to say a whole lot. You
Like
just
when
need
they
to comply
gave me
right now.
paperwork.
Lucretia, did you see what Lucretia said? You gotta stop seeing them as them people.
That part.
Yep. And us.
I gotta sage. I felt like I almost brought my sage in there this morning so I could sage the office. 'Cause I
No,
feel-
you sage yourself. You sage. You sage.
Okay, got it.
You need to fast and sage. Just start all over. Start all
Yeah,
'Cause they
over.
may even have a problem with the sage in the office.
Yeah, they
I may have to do it on a Saturday when I'm there by myself.
Some,
Mhm.
or how about not at all?
Or not at
Say,
all. Yeah, no,
you-
not at all. Not
I'm
at all.
serious, because you don't want to give them any reason.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they already, I'm telling you, they
Yeah.
already looking for him. If you was in that office, I'm like, I'm just listening.
Look at that eyebrow raise. We saw that eyebrow raise.
They say
Mind
a
you,
lot of
no, what I
communication
came here
is
yesterday, I was ready.
nonverbal.
I put on a full beat yesterday. I was like a strong bro. What we got to
Yeah.
talk about?
They say a lot of communication is nonverbal. And you don't think people pick up on that?
Yeah. That's why I know when I stopped talking, I could tell that their demeanor changed in terms of me stop. Like I literally had a conversation with myself and I was like, this is not a debate. They're saying what they're saying and what they're saying has to be accepted and it's not a debate. I get it. So after that conversation, I just know that it's unfortunate that I feel like I'm in a space between someone that has been with the company that is getting ready to leave out on maternity leave, but has also been through several different managers. And then I have someone new that's starting the same way that I'm starting, but I almost kind of feel like, and I could be wrong, but I almost kind of feel like it's one of those situations to where it's like, oh, okay, I'm in. Now let me bring in my team of people that I want to bring in with me. That's what it's given.
But see, you too new to even make any kind of anything. And that's the part you keep missing. You have to first learn the environment that you're in, what works, what. So like I said, right now, all you should be doing is observing. How does work around here? Who around here? That's it. You should be gathering information.
Lucretia says, you still don't see that it's you that needs to change in order to change the environment you helped create with your words, attitude, feelings, and disposition. Yeah.
I agree. I'm a new person every day. Every day is a new opportunity. Every day is a new way to get it better. My feelings today were totally different than my feelings yesterday when I left from out there, despite and regardless of what happened. After it happened, an hour or two later, I was in a whole different mind space in terms of getting things done and making sure that I was sufficient. Because now when I come to work, I don't come to work and I'm like, oh, I got so much stuff that I got to do. I'm caught up to the point to when I come to work, I'm like, okay, well, what do I have to do today? That's where I'm at. And it seems like to me that my coworkers that I'm working with, they're not in that space. And I don't know if it's their workload, my workload, whatever, but I just know that I'm definitely in it to win it and to be a part of it and to be about it. I'm definitely not about being a part of the issue. And I really, truly feel like a lot of it has been me coming in and finding a lot of mess ups from previous management and not necessarily having the proper training to be able to fix those things. Everything that I've done, even when we talked yesterday, I feel like everything that I've done since I've accepted this position has just been patchwork in terms of just fixing something. My ability to actually do the job, retain the information, and do it again moving forward, I don't have that opportunity because it's so much. Like even today, there's no reason why 5 people haven't been filed on, but they had a 30-day notice issued to them back in December. So for 3 months, they just been sitting rent-free. And that's the previous management that was here. That was your friend that you hired to come
and
here to do the
you
job.
don't want to keep pointing that out either.
I'm just saying, these your
Me too.
people. These
Me
your
too.
friends.
Me
These
too.
your friends.
And you don't want to keep pointing that out either. You
I
said
mean,
it once.
right, but I'm just saying, these your friends. You hired them. They came in, they fucked shit up. Don't get mad at me because I done came in and done figured out all they fuck ups and I'm doing shit right. Go on, have your baby. Go on, leave on maternity leave. Go on, girl.
But even if you need to do it wrong, is that how we doing it? How do y'all want me to do this?
Oh, it done already came back. Even from me just doing it, done already came back. And see, my whole thing with the conversation I had with them today in terms of the evictions and stuff, I'm like, Well, you know, it done got kicked back because of something that you told me to do. So now what? And she was like, oh, well, I didn't CC you on the email. You don't have to CC me on the email. You can send that to the regional. You and her deal with that. I did what I was instructed to do. Y'all got it. Where I'm wrong at? That's all I'm trying to figure out. Where I'm wrong at?
Playing the game. It's a game.
You right.
You gotta play the game. You the new kid on the block. And so when you the new kid on the block, you play the game until you're not.
When I tell y'all I'm finna straight Andrea Sachs they ass from Devil Wears Prada in here, they ain't gonna have no understanding.
So silly.
So Ray, what's going on? I'm sorry. I needed to vent, and I needed to vent in a space with people that can relate
Oh, it's
to.
safe here. You could have done this yesterday.
Right, before he had that meeting. Talking about you ain't on here, you better get on here before you start dealing with them folk. Get on here so we
Them
can get
people.
your work together.
All the way together.
But one of the things that stood out for me from last week to this week, and it seems so appropriate today, is perspective. That's a word that's really been standing out with me, and it's standing out because, like Jonah said, I feel like I'm kind of like in that season. My season started last year, and I feel like it's been a long time coming to get this breakthrough. But a part of it is my perspective. Because as y'all know, I tell y'all about my career, my job, and what I don't really say is that I work as a hairstylist in television and film, and in that realm, it's a different world. It's a different world, but I mean, you have good time. You have really good time sometimes on set. I mean, because a few of my last projects that I worked on was Queens and P Valley, and those are kind of like fun sets.
So do you know you worked on Queens?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Trent Simmons?
Mm-hmm. He's makeup. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him
yes.
To say hi.
But yeah, so it's like that whole world is a different world, but at the same time, I feel like I'm being transitioned into something else. And the one thing it's kind of like a bittersweet thing for me because I'm trying to get to the other side, but a part of me still wants to hold on. But there's some changes that's kind of telling me it's time for me to maybe kind of either take a season out or to just kind of move in a different direction altogether. And the thing that is really bittersweet about it is that a part of me wants to find whatever it is on this side that I enjoy, that I can still see myself having some livelihood and enjoyment in doing. And that's been like my standstill, because it's like I got to relearn myself all over again. It's like, what do I really like to do? What could really bring me as much joy as being on set with my coworkers and, having good times. We work, but at the same time, we still have our moments where we have our good times. So, yeah, I had to look at it from a different perspective and realize that I have a whole new world over here. Like, it's like a whole bunch of sunshine over here. It's sunshine over there too, but it's sunshine over here. Like, I just got to open up to the possibilities and the opportunities that are still over here waiting. And it's things that I honestly were in the works of doing that now I have an open arena to just get into it and just do it now. So yeah, perspective has been a really strong word. And like I said, I think it's very suitable for today because it's all in how we look at things. And a lot of times perspective, when you think of it, sometimes you think of things outside of you, but it's really inside of you.
I believe there's a Bible verse, and I could be wrong for quoting the Bible. But I believe it says perception is reality until proven differently. And one of the things that I have been, that I've learned in this new position within the past week is that a lot of times, and I had to correct myself, and this actually helped me learn something, was I always speak about intentions, what the intentions are, what my intentions are, what our intentions are. However, in the terms of dealing with someone else, it's not always about intentions. It's about their perception of our intentions. And that's what really matters.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always our intentions. It's something, a lot of times when we're dealing with other people, it's the perception of the other person, regardless of what our intentions are. Because our intentions could be good, but they may receive it in a different perception. And that then becomes their reality of our situation or our interaction together. So in terms of what your perspective may be, I think you may also want to take a look at what your intentions are around that perspective.
And my intention all day is to be happy and to enjoy life. That is my intention all day, every day. To be good to people, enjoy my life, and to be happy.
Then I believe you'll attract that. I believe you'll attract the right people in your life that will receive that perception that you're trying to put out. And then it'll flow for you a lot better that way. But I love that. And thank you, because it's all tying in. It's all tied in.
Yeah. And I think we have to be open to, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I have intention, but I want intention to look the way I want it to look.
Now that's another one.
And
you say you want the intention to look the way.
So
what did you say? Can you repeat that part that you said?
I have intention. Like my intention right now is to bring in this 6 figures that I know I got. But the way I'm hearing from the Holy Spirit, it don't look like what I want it to look like. It doesn't look like what it used to look like. I was sharing with Kenya, when we got started, I'm listening to Chanel's Align series. And that number 3 kicked my tail. And I have to be careful of, how did I say it? I forgot what I said, Kenya, about the thoughts of the past. I spoke it out of my mouth because Chanel said speak. So I was like, I remove the thoughts of the past. I just keep the lessons. Because the challenge with I play reels. It's funny they started the reels on social media. Now that's all I talk about, because that's something I'm trying to break away from, is playing the reels of the past, especially from people who have done me wrong. I go back and I rehearse how they did it, and what the lesson that I learned from it, and what I should have said to them in the moment. And so she was talking about that, and so I said I removed the thoughts of the past and I retain the lessons. So I have intentions. Like my intention right now is I'm working on these streams, but I'm, even coming here every week and doing the work, I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's not the way this stream is supposed to look. It's still a stream. It's a 6-figure stream, but maybe it's supposed to, this stream that I'm working on is supposed to look a different way. Just like I just accepted me as the brand. I'm out here trying to find a model. And I can't find it. Everybody I look, I'm like, that's not it. It's some grace and some queenliness and some sexy. I'm looking for all of that in one. And then I just heard the Holy Spirit say, well, I told you were the brand. And so I've been running away from that. So intention in the project, intention in the stream, but the way the result, I guess the results, because I got a word in my prophetic planning in Monday was, I said, God, what is your vision for the business this week? What is your vision for me this week? He said, do and trust. Do and trust. Don't do it and then get all discombobulated because now you're focused on the end result. And that's what I do. I'm a project manager, and that's what we do. We work from start to finish. You can't do that with God. I was trained to start something, walk it through a series of whatever with all the other stuff in between, and there's an end result. As a project manager, I've built my success on that I can deliver your project on time and under budget. So I'm always focused on the results. So now God is saying the results is on me. That's a whole mindset shift in the way that I've operated for 25, almost 30 years in my career. So having to unlearn that, but that's what I meant by intention. I have the intention. I'm working on, the tasks that I have to do, and I'm setting my intention every day, and I'm calling this 6-figure stream in. But when it doesn't look like and doesn't come through the way I'm thinking it's gonna come through, I get all in my head and get emotional. And because I've been fighting emotion, I was telling Kenya that I said, if I'm honest, for the last couple of weeks, because I've been in this space for over a year now, I've been a little emotional because I'm getting a little tired. I'm ready for the end result. So, but that's what I meant by that.
Call it forth.
I heard that this morning. That's why I told Kenya I got to go back and listen to it, because I was listening to while the girl was doing my hair. She's like, I don't know what you're listening to. I said, it's Chanel. She said, whatever it is, it's good because you need to keep your head still. Because I was like, yeah. But she was correcting. She was correcting me because I need to stop playing that old stuff and be open to the new and calling it forth. And that's really what what she was saying to Andre was like, open up your mouth. Open up your mouth. Yeah.
Here
and say the right
and
thing.
now.
Here and now.
Here and
that's
now.
what she was saying too, was I got to go back and listen to it because I don't think I have it quite yet because I can't repeat it. But she was talking about speaking it in the future, in the present, and the past, and somehow they all connected together. I can't really articulate it just yet. So that means I don't have it in me just yet. But when she said it, I understood it. And so I said, okay, I need to go back to that because I tend to focus more on the past and what I should have said when they said what they said. And
she was talking about
Well, I would've got a
identifying
nasty
where you're
read
pulling
in.
that feeling from. She was talking about identifying where you're pulling from. Like, are you still primarily living in the past? Are you in the present? Like, where's the feeling come from? Is it from a past experience? And one thing Jonah said that was really key is you got to be careful playing with that energy that you just don't use it to recreate it in your current circumstance. Because that's where your focus is.
That's why I'm feeling all frustrated. I want to take the lesson and learn and move forward. I don't want to get back in that place in that moment and I'm feeling all that energy, and that's what I've been doing. So yeah, it was really good. That was Align series number 3. It was really good. Really good.
Anika, how you doing, my sister?
I am good. Yes, Miss. You also want cheese? 1 second. Sure. Yeah, I am good. It's been busy. It's been a busy week. So I had to focus on cleaning up this house and making it look like nobody lives here. So the photographers were here yesterday. I accomplished it, which was good. The realtor was even impressed with how we literally made this house look like it's a brand new house. So that was even good to hear that from her because like we work our ass on this house. So like that's one big thing that's down and I'm really, really happy. So we're going to list on Monday because even though we got the house to look a certain way, like at a certain point, because at first it was like organizing, but at a certain point it was like, man, just throw these things in a bin. So so we're going to spend this weekend just trying to get it now ready for people to come and see the house. So we asked for Monday to give us the weekend to get to that level, but that was like a daunting task, like a daunting task for me. And then I had so stuff going on for work. I had rescheduled this presentation from last year into this week when I did not remember. And I was like, what the hell? Like, how could I have chosen the same week for my house and to do this presentation? But I must have finished the presentation at the 9th hour, which was like Monday to give my boss time to review it. And so I literally wing it just now, but that even turned out to be amazing. So I'm just happy. I'm happy that all of my house stress paid off. And now I can focus back to doing the work, but you guys are definitely on it because even when you talk about perception and intentions, like in everything that's going on with my husband and I, like right now, that's my focus. And I don't know if you guys read the 4 agreements, but what came to me yesterday is I make a lot of assumptions, right? And one of the 4 agreements says make no assumptions. And I'm like, you know what? You could save yourself a whole lot of headache if you stop making assumptions and then stop having expectations. Like for my own self, I can have expectations, but I need to stop having expectations of others, right? I can't even control my own children, right? So like I can't control anyone else. And so sometimes I feel like my emotions and I'm impacted by expectations expectations and you expect people to do what you would do, but people don't necessarily do that. And then not only that, sometimes the assumptions that you make are incorrect, right? So then you all and your feelings are this happened and you realize that you're so wrong, right? And you could have saved yourself the headache to begin with if you did not make the assumption and if you have no expectations. So those are the
one on that, Anika, is don't take anything personally either.
that's another one. I was trying to figure out another one because that's on the list too. Because I was like, there's two that I'm really, really working on. And that's another one. Don't take it personally. No.
And that goes for you too, Tiandre. What you're going through, don't take that personally.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna jump off in here because I got a meeting, another Zoom meeting. But when you don't take it personally, it's like, what do I need to learn, and how can I grow? How can I be better? Use it as a personal challenge versus they're against me, or why can't they just see? Don't take this personal. What is the opportunity for growth here for me in this situation so that I get the good out of where I am right now?
Yes. And I think that is going to help me in my divorce because my husband sometimes is wishy-washy and petty. And then other times he could be like your best friend. And so I'm like, you know what? We both are dealing with this in our own way, right? And he did something on it. It was petty. And I even ended up posting it on, so like just my feelings on social media. And when he saw it, he was waiting for me to say how I felt, but I didn't. And he didn't know that it impacted me a certain way. But ever since then, he's been much nicer, right? But then again, I'm like, you know what? Don't take it personal because what he is doing is the way he would react to certain situations, like it's impacting the two of us, right? And so I'm not going to pay attention to what he does. And I'm just going to keep focusing on the positivity and the light and the peace that I want. Yeah. So those are my two. Do not take it personal. I could not remember which one it was. So thanks.
Yeah, you know,
okay, I gotta go. Blessings to you all. I'll be watching the replay.
All right.
Okay.
I wanted to say something about the expectations. I dealt with that for a few months right after the divorce, kind of got into a relationship and I learned a lot from that. But what I think what I said to myself was I need to stop expecting people to respond the way I would. It was just, that was driving me nuts. And then when I finally understood, I was like, okay, Jonas, you get in your feelings because they don't respond or they don't do things the way you do them. A couple of things I heard the Holy Spirit say: stop looking for pain where there is none. And the other thing was I got the word reciprocity, because when I have expectations in people and they don't deliver, I'm feeling like I don't have any control in the relationship. Like, so they just gonna act a fool and not respond the way I want them to respond. And so I was feeling like I didn't have any control. But what gave me control was reciprocity. I get to choose what I entertain. If someone continues to be, not of service, you're taking, in other words, what I was experiencing was my gifts and talents, administratively speaking. I had a business partner who was taking advantage of that, but I was allowing it. So I had certain expectations from him that he wasn't giving me, was having me in my feelings. And I'm like, okay, Jonah, why do you keep doing it though? Where's the, so basically he and I had a conversation. I said, I'm just not feeling the reciprocity. Or he said, is something wrong? Cause I pulled back. So he was like, is something wrong? I was like, no. I said, I'm just following your lead. I said, so this has to do more with reciprocity. I said, because if we continue to operate the way we're operating, I'm going to stay in my feelings, and I choose not to stay in my feelings. So I know it's not personal. You're just being who you are. So you give, I give. You don't, I don't. And he got that message. And so things didn't necessarily change, but I feel better that I spoke up. And I'm just like, okay. So in those relationships where I don't have reciprocity, I'm making changes in those relationships. And that's how that whole thing about expectations got to me, because I was like, why shouldn't I have expectations in people? Because a friend of my new friend, he was like, okay, he calls himself my fiance. I haven't said yes yet, but as your fiance, I'm saying you should have expectations in me. If I'm your fiance and about to be your husband, there's a certain level of expectations that you have for me, and I should deliver. So I wasn't totally wrong about not having expectations. It's just that if they choose not to do that, then I got to recategorize this, or if that's the word, recategorize this relationship and not continue to keep in that back and forth, because I'm like, okay, you're not serving in this relationship as a friend or a business partner. So I need to rethink this relationship and start giving to you at the level, not diminishing my gifts and talents, but I was doing things that he didn't necessarily ask me to do. It's just who I am. And I was kind of wanting him to do the same thing, but that's not who he is. So it is what it is. So that's how I was able to kind of pull out of that whole expectation thing, because that had me wrapped up for a minute.
I'm gonna say this, and then I gotta jump off so I can clock back on
Yeah,
this
me
stupid
too.
job. Uh, y'all pray for me.
We will. I can hear Lucretia die. I'm gonna speak for her.
I'm cracking up.
I'm gonna say this, and I think I said it one time before when we were on the call. In regards to Megan Good and her husband, with them just getting divorced, and one of the things that he said is that we all have certain expectations of other people in terms of the relationship. However, it's up for us to express those expectations to that other person. We can't just have this ideal of this person or this thing or this something that we want in our mind, and then we meet someone and we just expect for them to be it without having that conversation to find out if they are it, or if they're willing to rise to the occasion to be it. And that's where a lot of us fall short in relationships, myself included, and that's something that I had to learn in terms of having the conversation. And even with my partner and I, we had to have the conversation that we were like, look, I think that we both jumped into this having a certain thought of what a relationship is based upon how we may have been brought up, what our morals, values, and beliefs are. But the reality is that we're different people and we have a different type of lifestyle in terms of what we want. And there are just certain things that if we just simply communicate through them, everything that we've talked about, it's been like, oh, I've never had that conversation with anybody else about it. But you're putting these expectations on someone that they're supposed to be this certain type of way. And you never know. You could say, hey, I like long walks at 6:00 p.m. on a Thursday. And they could be like, oh, well, I like it at 7:30. I had no idea. It's just because we're missing the communication in terms of the dating process and getting the hard stuff out the way and truly, understanding to learn to love someone where they're at and accepting them where they're at. So that's my little spiel. I'm finna go. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'm finna
all
go in the
right.
refrigerator, get me a Sprite.
I will send the YouTube out. So talk to y'all later.
All
Bye.
right, y'all have a good one.
You too. Jabrisha, we know you ain't talk, but we know you got a lot to say, girl. Fill us in.
Lucretia says bye.
Bye, y'all.
See y'all later.
I'm good. I had a blessed week.
Awesome.
Very good.
I'm sorry. I had cut the recording off yet. Got it.
Okay.
Have a good
Bye.
one, guys.